The title of this video is not verbatim, but in Dereck Chisora's recent face-to-face with Joseph Parker, his upcoming opponent, somewhere along the line of that amusing back and forth, he mentioned how the heavyweight division hasn't really been as alive as it was or meant as much since Mike Tyson for Evander Holyfield. Now, there has definitely been golden eras in other weight divisions and really memorable nights. For instance, the Barrera-Morales series, the Pacquiao-Marquez. For me, those four guys really made boxing in the noughties. But Chisora, just a couple of years older than me, I really know what he's getting at when he says that things haven't felt as meaningful in a way in the heavyweight division. People haven't cared as much. Looking back, Tyson and Holyfield, that felt like a real clash of the titans. I was just a kid at the time. I was 10 in 96, and looking at the news when Tyson came back, then he fought Holyfield, then he got beat by, well, of course, the bite fight, really notorious, and then Princess Diana dying. I mean, that's how I remembered the news in terms of all those headlines were on the same level. And it wasn't just Mike Tyson being exciting. Evander Holyfield was a very magnetic fighter himself, really got stuck in, underrated puncher, that warrior mindset, very satisfying to watch, high output, and their styles gelled pretty well. Now, when Tyson Fury dethroned Vladimir Klitschko in 2015, that possibly seemed like the dawn of a new golden age. And it was, of course, a big upset, much like Holyfield's original victory over Mike Tyson. But the problem was, of course, it was a terrible fight. So while in a way it was good for boxing, it wasn't actually a good advertisement for the sport. It didn't give the masses a reason to start caring. And then we did have the genuinely all-time great, fantastic fight between Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko again in 2017. But even the casuals kind of knew the subtext to that one, that it was a guy in his 40s, and even a casual fan knows fighters in their 40s aren't at their best anymore. So there was always that kind of bitter aftertaste, the passing over of the torch. It wasn't a prime guy, and they weren't locking horns when they were in their prime. Now, there's a video floating about on the internet. I think it's quite a few years old now, and it involves Floyd Mayweather Jr. I think he's in Brixton in London, over here in the UK. He's getting his hair cut, and then this black woman sounds off amusingly, and she doesn't know who Floyd Mayweather is. As you wouldn't be that surprised, a lot of people on the street don't know who he is. Same with Manny Pacquiao, because boxing commercially isn't as popular as it used to be, because you have to pay for it so much. But anyway, I digress. She was saying, I remember the really big fighters like Mike Tyson, so on and so forth. And then Mayweather, in his typical kind of response, was like, oh, you know, check Forbes if you want to know who I am. But in a way, it just highlighted how numbers, money, viewing figures, that does not convert. You may make more money, it may generate more, but that doesn't actually mean it was a bigger event, because the really big events, the golden eras, the memorable nights, the litmus test for them is that when you look back, you smile and you go, that was a genuinely great time in boxing. I would happily rewatch that. You can't say that about Mayweather Pacquiao. You certainly can't say it about Mayweather McGregor, those overinflated circus shows that may have a lot of De Niro to show for it, a lot of viewing figures, but the passion isn't there and it doesn't mean as much. Now, in Chisora's face-to-face with Parker, he mentioned about the only thing he fears, it's not losing, and it's not God, that old cliche. He said it's not being able to entertain the fans. So it's certainly commendable that he feels that obligation to really get stuck in and bring that old fire that makes us care again. But when he mentioned that the heavyweights haven't really been on fire like they were when it was Tyson and Holyfield, that real clash of the titans, I think he definitely had a point.